if the circumstances are bad or not the ones that help you or facilitate it easily to do whatever you aspire to do, at least then you'll learn how to do it in the hard times, and then you'll always be able to do it when the times are even better or easier, or you have even better conditions to do something. Because if you're always waiting for the good times or perfect circumstances to start anything, then you cannot assume that bad times will never come back. And when they do come back, at least then already you know how you've done it and how you handle that problem. Welcome everyone to LifewithLiza podcast. Our mission at LifewithLiza is to share people's stories and the challenges that they have overcome, so that those who are listening in can get the strength, the courage, and the hope to be their better selves. Today we have a special edition episode, and I will be sharing something that I'm struggling with. So as you guys might know, I am actually doing and preparing the course that will launch end of October, or at least I plan for it to launch end of October. And something that I found myself struggling with is procrastinating. And let me tell you how I started unpacking this issue. So I noticed that I would have free time when I would want to work on my course, and then I would just not do it. And I then realized that I feel like the conditions are not perfect, and that's why I'm procrastinating on the work. And I wait for the conditions to be perfect. For example, I ordered a little mic that I want to use to record the course so that the quality of the sound is better. And I'm just procrastinating. Basically, I will not start recording until I get the mic, or I will not do that until I get a proper camera setup, or I will not do that until the background is perfect. And I feel like so many times in life we feel for the circumstances to be perfect without realizing that they will never be perfect. Literally, the circumstances will never be perfect. And the only thing that we are left to do is to actually start whatever are the circumstances around us and just do it. Because if the circumstances are bad or not the ones that help you or facilitate it easily to do whatever you aspire to do, at least then you'll learn how to do it in the hard times, and then you'll always be able to do it when the times are even better or easier, or you have even better conditions to do something. Because if you're always waiting for the good times or perfect circumstances to start anything, then you cannot assume that bad times will never come back. And when they do come back, at least then already you know how you've done it and how you handle that problem. So that's why even with my course now, even despite my perfectionist mind, I just trick it into saying, okay, let's just do it as a draft. Let's just see how good it can turn out. And then I can always improve it and change it. But the biggest problem with waiting for the perfect circumstances or for everything to be just the way you want it, firstly, because it will never be the reality. And secondly, you are losing momentum. And momentum is so crucial into achieving and moving towards any goal. So I really like this analogy of Tom Bilyeu. He was actually saying that what determines if you will be successful or not is whether you understand the power of the momentum. And how he describes momentum is sometimes when you start doing something, and it could be anything, like you start your own podcast, you start your own business, you try to get into a healthy routine. In the beginning, it feels like you are pushing the car up the hill. It's so hard. You have no momentum. It takes all your energy to actually get that car pushing. But then the road ahead of you is actually malleable, and it changes. And sometimes once you've got so much momentum, now it's like the road is downhill, and you just like try to run after that car because the car is like moving so fast that you cannot even catch up with it. And that is when you've already gained that momentum and you go on with it. And I feel like when we start giving into the perfectionist mind, and the perfectionist mind has actually the lowest expectations because they're not possible, they're not real. They're the lowest expectations that one can have, because you're basically tricking yourself into believing that you trick yourself into believe that they are possible and hence not taking action. And that's the lowest standards you can have. It was actually the idea of Tony Robbins that I absolutely loved. So in all of this and in all of my course story, I think it was important for me to realize the root cause of my behavior. And then once I realized it, I could tackle it, because it was not that I was lazy or that I didn't want to do it, because if you are tackling the wrong root cause, it will not actually get you into action. So just realizing that was the root cause, and then realizing how funny it is, because the root cause of waiting for something to be perfect, waiting for the perfect circumstances, and then you start realizing that would never be the case. So then you just better start now and start moving towards your goals and not lose the momentum. And just on the momentum note, another thing that I wanted to mention, I think even with releasing these podcast episodes, I'm doing one a week and one a day, and I feel like I'm gaining so much momentum. Not only I'm getting better at doing the episodes, expressing my thoughts, I also feel like more and more people are finding out about my content, because I'm producing so much more content, so that some pieces of content will obviously resonate with different people, and that's why by producing more and more content, I increase my reach as well, not only by actually becoming better at podcasting. So it's also the power of momentum. I hope this short video helps you to start taking action on whatever you're procrastinating in this moment. Get to the root cause of why you're procrastinating, and then realize that a small action is done consistently is way better than our perfectionist huge action that we think we should do and never get doing. Don't lose the momentum. Take action now. Don't let the perfectionist mind stop you from achieving your goals. And realize that the times will never be perfect, so you better start doing it in the bad times, and then when the good times come, it will be so easy with perfect circumstances, and then you'll be prepped for the bad times. Thank you so much for joining in. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments if you found it useful, or share it with someone who might find it useful. And I see you tomorrow in the next episode.